Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the trees at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
The Chiefs are 2-2, and now it's Monday Night Football in Duval as Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs head south to take on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a primetime AFC clash, and you know the Chiefs are fired up to repeat that offensive performance. FanDuel has every angle covered from Mahomes' passing yards to Xavier Worthy's catches to how this defense matches up against Jacksonville's offense. Want even more action? Build your own same-game parlay and ride with Chiefs Kingdom all Monday night. With fast payouts and an app that's smoother than a Mahomes sidearm throw, FanDuel makes every snap feel bigger. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we drop our best 5-leg same-game parlay for the weekend, plus JD's 10 keys to victory, breaking down exactly how the Chiefs can take down the Jags and get above 500. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap count. Chiefs in Duval, under the lights on Monday Night Football, that's must-see TV. Must-see TV indeed. How is everybody doing on this lovely Friday evening? I'm Marcus Stash, and welcome to Chief Concerns Keys and Cash, presented by FanDuel, our number one sponsor. So how is everybody tonight on this lovely Friday evening? I'm very excited about Monday. I'm extremely excited to watch football this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and not have to worry about a game on Sunday. I know I'm not worried about the game, but you can watch, to be a fan of football, just to sit back and watch, like having a bye week essentially, right? Like having a bye week during the playoffs. Like everyone else gets to, beat each other up while we get to sit at home and stretch our legs out and watch and eat food. So I'm excited for this Saturday, being a stress-free Saturday and Sunday, watching college football and NFL. So I cannot wait for all that. I hope everyone is doing well tonight on this lovely Friday evening. And I'll say tonight, kind of usually there's been good college games over the last few weeks on Friday night. Kind of a weak night as far as college football. I think I had Delaware, Western Kentucky on, or Western Kentucky peeps. What's up? But yeah, kind of not really much going on TV wise tonight. So it's good that we have our Keys in Cash with Dunn and Dash show tonight, because since nothing else is on, you may as well tune in and get to hear JD's keys to victory for this game on Monday. And for those of you who are new to the channel, Chief Concerns, the Monday show is our grades show, but that means Monday night, since we play on Monday night, will be a post-game show instead. And then that means our Wednesday show will turn into a partial grade show as well as a preview to the next game. And I believe that is against the Detroit Lions. I'm assuming. Yeah, we got Detroit Lions next week. Woo! Man, it's going to be a good one. I can't wait for that game. It's nice. We have the Ravens, Jags, and Lions. End up being, the Ravens end up being kind of a free and empty space this year, it seems like, because that team's a disaster right now. Jaguars, I know people are hyping them up. I think it should be I think we should dominate them pretty easily. It's going to be raining too, so that smells like a cream hunt game if I've ever seen one on Monday. But should be a good one nonetheless. Then we got the Detroit Lions, which is going to be potential. I know a lot of people picked the Chiefs and the Lions to be the teams to represent the AFC and the NFC in the Super Bowl, so could be Super Bowl preview. Who knows? Might be, really. It might be. And I know we have revenge. Last time we played the Detroit Lions, I know we had that season opener. So yeah, we got some. I don't know if everyone's going to want to avenge that game, but if I was Chris Jones, I'd want to get in on that. That was the game he ended up, but was holding out, and we're watching the game from the stands. So Chris Jones, big game next week against the Detroit Lions. Maybe. All right, let's see who's in the chat tonight. So we got Gary Holland, my guy. What is up, buddy? Hey, JD and Marcus, good to see you guys. Go Chiefs. Good to see you too, buddy. Glad you're in here, always in here front, or nice and early front and center. Demetrio Spence. Demetrio, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing well, man. Joe E. here waiting for the show. Well, Joe E., glad you waited, buddy. I'm glad you are here. Demetrio Spence watching the franchise until the show starts. Let's go, baby. Let us go. Witchy Hall, what's going on? Witchy's always in here. Love Witchy. That's where I was, Spence. Always a great watch. Yeah. Nah, the franchise is fantastic. I love it. I love it. All these shows all these teams have their own like documentary series now. Like the follow team, like sound effects, like through the entire season. I will say I like it, but then back in the day, right? The only time you could see that was during like NFL Films would do like documentaries at the end of the season, or during the season you'd see a couple sound bites of like the preparation for the week. And then, or you just had Hard Knocks, and that was pretty much it. If your team wasn't on Hard Knocks, you didn't really get to see the behind-the-scenes stuff. So I like it, but also I think it's kind of, I don't know, oversaturated the market. But it has oversaturated the market as far as that stuff goes, right? Because like now, I don't think anybody even watch Hard Knocks anymore. Hard Knocks doesn't have that same kind of vigor anymore because like we have every team has their own like version of that, right? Obviously, franchise is still great. I love it, but reminds me of a simpler time back in the day where, you had only one team could beat to get that behind the scenes shot, but now everyone's got it. So I don't know. Perfection 2K up in here. What's going on, buddy? I hope you are doing well, my man. Glad you're here on a Friday night. Linda Hunter. Hello, everyone. Linda, hope you're doing well. Wishy Hall. What's going on? Wishy again. About time. All right, now. Got my bourbon, got my dog, got my cheese, and mustard sandwich? A cheese and mustard sandwich. All right. I like that. I'm a big, as far as condiments go, give me some mustard and give me some mayo. Give me the mustard mayo mix, probably top condiment mix on any sandwich or sub. Obviously, certain subs you don't do that, right? Like a meatball marinara, you're not going to get that on there, or a cheesesteak, you're not going to get a mustard and mayo. You don't do that unless you do that. To each their own. But yeah, mustard mayo mix. That's my kind of thing. What kind of cheese are we talking about here? About time. American cheese, cheddar, Swiss. Perfection 2K, we all business. Hey, now. You already know that, buddy. Andre Chanel, good evening. Chief Concerns family. What's up, Andre? Hope you're doing well on this lovely evening. Go for Casey Forever. Good to see you again, with you all. Go for Casey Forever. What's up, buddy? All right. Andrea, my gal. Who else we got in here? It looks, Day you, baby. Day you. What's going on, bud? Perry Gilmore, where is your sidekick? My sidekick. JD will be on here shortly. He might be setting up for the Keys Victory right now. Teja will be on here shortly as well. I know Teja was driving back from work in California, so I'm sure the traffic's pretty good right now, right about 5:30 over there. So he said he just gets started without him. So Teja's dealing with traffic in California. So love that, right? I don't pity him at all. Is JD coming? JD is coming. Yes, JD's coming. We don't do this shows without JD. I was just coming on just to talk to you guys before we got everything going. So go for Casey Forever. You can hold on for forever until JD comes on. Then it should be all right. Brian Hwang, y'all see the new Red Stripe cinema production? I saw a little bit of it. Was it any good? I think you actually commented on one of the videos with that video, Brian. I saw a little bit of it. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. Why is anything that needs to be seen in that, buddy? About time, the Kraft deli cheese with mustard is banger. Okay. All right, buddy. Hey, love it. No WT World Hall of Karma points here. About time, Kraft deli slice. None of that rat mush. Hannah, what's going on? Cheese and mustard sandwiches are always good. Yeah, they are. Tailgater. I'm sure Tailgater's not a big cheese and mustard sandwich guy. It doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. But if they ain't grilled beef, no way, baby. No way. Not for him. Not for him. Drew Ray, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, so everyone, JD will be on here shortly to discuss his keys to victory and all that. So, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I do want to show you something that I did some research, in my whole thing this week of like checking out stuff, right? I always there's always statistics that come up in my mind and I want to figure it out, right? So as you guys know, you guys watch the show all the time. I'm a huge Kareem Hunt fan. Some could call me a Kareem Hunt apologist, if you will, as far as his play on the field. But I wanted to do some due diligence, right? I think I always call him the best short yardage back in the league. So I went back to every game. We have 5 games so far. Went to the game logs, and I wanted to see how many short yardage conversions he's had this year. And short yardage conversion in the NFL's definition is or a third or fourth down with 1 or 2 yards to go. So even beyond 3 yards, if it's 3 yards and beyond, it doesn't count as short yards, which is interesting. I thought third down would be also count as that, but no, it's fourth, third, but either 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. That's it. Those are short yardage conversions. So I did, I went back, went through all the stuff, and I found, where's it here? Yeah, so went back, looked at it, did my notes. Yeah, I'm, as much as, millennials and Gen Z types are all over the using the computers and ChatGPT stuff. I'm old school, guys. Pen and paper, baby. Pen and paper. That's how I roll. Yes, I love that. I love how pen and paper is old school now. The kids today I don't think they know how to write with the utensil anymore. XL Raider fan here. Okay. XL Raider, what's up, buddy? Okay, you know what? XL Raider with a contribution. Hey, we love you. We love that. We love that. Raiders fan here. Jags could win if you ain't careful. Well, you know what? I'll say this. The Chiefs are one of those teams who doesn't play down with their opponents. The only one I can think of is Indianapolis. That's the only team we play down to. But yeah, I mean, Jags are a tough opponent, right? We'll see. They haven't really played anybody yet, so it's a test for us like it is a test for them. So yeah, it should be a good game. I mean, it's going to be a good Monday night game. I remember at the beginning of the season looking at that before the season started and saw the schedule, like, Jaguars. Oh, that's a dub. I still think we're going to win this game, but I think it's going to be more a closer game than what I originally anticipated. But I also can see us beating them by 2 possessions too. So who knows? Looks like the team is clicking. So I like that. So Raider, I think the Chiefs should win, but Jags are much improved. They are. Offensively, though, are they? Lawrence doesn't look good, man. Like, he's getting paid a lot of money. If I pay my quarterback that much money, I want something out of him, right? Especially if all this, all the stuff they had on him, like everyone was banking on him being the next big thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really disappointed in Lawrence. I wasn't the biggest fan of him coming out of college, or in college. I wasn't, I didn't really see it, but yeah, wasn't a big fan. So yeah, appreciate the contribution to the XL Raider. Hey, you see, that's AFC West love right there. Hey, appreciate that. Kareem was the best short yardage back. He was one of the best overall backs in the league years ago. His vision, toughness, never level. You know what? It's a perfection 2K. So anyway, I went to pen and paper. I looked at all the play-by-plays, went down to everything, and I came up with this puppy. Let's go to our Twitter account. So I posted this today. Had to save last night. When I went through it last night, I was, you know what? When this needs to be talked about, and this is what I came up with. So here we go. So last year, Kareem Hunt was deemed as one of the best short yardage backs. And so I went back to it today, and this is what I found. So Kareem Hunt on the year, right? On the year, Kareem Hunt has had 11 short yardage opportunities plays, right? So it's not, and it's including pass plays too. So he has 1 catch from a 4th and 1, and that was in the Chargers game. So short yardage plays, not just run plays, even catches too. I included in this. He's 10 of 11, 5 of 6 on 4th and 1. And if you think about that, 5 of 6 on 4th and 1, that 4th and 1 play the one he didn't get was the one against the Eagles where they just blew it up. And that's not, I mean, it wasn't his fault, but nonetheless, that still checks against him. So yeah, 5 of 6 on 4th and 1, 3 of 3 on 3rd and 1, and 2 of 2 on 3rd and 2. So really, he should be 10 of 10. We should make count via the 4th and 1 that play got blown up against the Eagles. That was just a disaster from the offensive line, a disaster class in that play. But we should count it, but we are going to count it. So he's 10 of 11 on the season on short yardage plays, 91%. So this guy is the real deal, man. Like, people could want to ban the tush push, but you know what? We don't need the tush push. We don't talk about the tush push because we have Kareem Hunt. We don't need that. So honestly, I saw this and I had to kind of put this out there for people to see because he gets a lot of unfair flack and it's like, he doesn't have breakout runs. No one's scared of him popping off for 20 yards. Who cares? I mean, like, God, if you guys gonna give me yards like this on first down critical plays, it's huge. Because we went through so many years, the years after Kareem, right? So like it was the years after Damian Williams. So when we had Darrell Williams, we had CH. Who other running backs we had in that time period? Darrell, CH. Yeah, I mean, the years after Kareem Hunt, right? We had a bunch of guys and guys who couldn't get the short yardage stuff. So the fact that we have a guy who can do this, I don't know why people want to, I don't know why people want to knock the guy. It's just unnecessary. And I see our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, is joining us now. There he is. What's up, buddy?
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man? Doing all right?
Doing fantastic, man.
Boy. Yes, sir.
Friday night, man. I can't wait to see what the keys of victory are tonight. It's always the highlight of my Fridays.
It's Friday night.
But JD, so I was posting up the stat that I posted on our Twitter account today of Kareem Hunt being the best short yardage back in the league. And I already kind of figured this based on just watching this and just seeing how many times he's converted on this. But seeing the numbers actually stand out like this, and also you can make the argument he should be 11 of 11 because the one play he didn't get, it was the one we highlighted on the show where that bad blocking on that 4th and 1 against the Eagles where it got blown up. But nonetheless, we'll count. So he's 10 of 11 on the season in the short yard versions. And that's pass plays as well as run plays because he had 1 4th and 1 conversion on the catch during the Chargers game week 1. So when you see his numbers, obviously it's not a shock to you, but like I hope this puts in perspective what he means to our team because there's a lot of people out there who just get this whole thing. So he doesn't have explosive plays. So I want a new running back. It's like, well, he does a lot of things that we've been complaining about for years. Because people forget when we had, Darrell Williams and CH, we never had a guy who could go in and get us the 4th and 2, the 4th and 1s, the 4th and inches. We always had issues. We had Noah Gray or Blake Bell doing a QB sneaks because we didn't have anybody doing this. We have a guy who does this, and people don't want that anymore. It bothers me so much.
I think what it is, if you're always trying to find something better, grass is green on the other side. Our guys are not necessarily getting it done. You hear everything. And so what we do find in this number right here that he's pretty consistent. Like he is the NFL's best short yardage back. So you can dispute the numbers all you want to. I tell you what, getting first downs is what matters. Moving the change is what matters. And what that will ultimately equate to is wins. And so if he wins on this particular play, even if the blocking hadn't necessarily been the greatest, that's what you're looking for. Because if you bring some other Yahoo in here, whoever everybody wants and they scream about, I would doubt that they would have this type of success, Marcus, really. So, I look at it this way, man. He's ours. I love him. That's because he's just that dude. He's that guy. When I see him in there on short yardage, it's almost like an automatic thing. Like, oh, shoot, there's Kareem Hunt's in there. Shoot, we know we're going to get it. And so teams have to think, they're going to be able to stop it. And even if they know he's in the game, they still can't stop it. Why? Because he is just that, creative, getting through and turning his body. It's just cannot be denied. There's a mindset that he has that he will not be stopped if he needs to get a first down. Now, like you said, that one play where he got hit by 2 guys in the backfield, our guys got drove off the football. I mean, what are you supposed to do there, right? I think everybody loses their battle. But more than often, we get to a certain point in the red zone, I say 29's got to be in there. He has to be. Seriously. So.
Yeah, it's just like, people talk about the tush push. We need to find ways to get Patrick Mahomes to be able to QB sneak the ball. You don't need to because you got this guy doing that. So, like, what do you want? And I just for years, man, like, it was always this, we can't get 3rd and 1s, 4th and inches. It's nuts. But he comes back here last year. I think he had 87% short yardage efficiency. This year, 91% already. So, like, what he's giving us, I mean, I can't ask for any more than this. Yeah, sure. Do I want him to break off? Of course, I'd love an explosive play from him. But it's not. I mean, we don't need that, right? What we need is what we need, and that's one thing that people just keep forgetting. That's just not all about explosive and flashy plays. Sure, I love that, but he is doing something for us, and that's the one thing I hope is conveys to those people out there.
Well, I mean, everybody's got a part to play. right?
Right.
He's playing his part really well. He's doing exactly like Aaron's right here. Rose says Kareem is doing exactly what's being asked of him, and then some. So I think his performance has been, I think it's been stellar. I mean, I've graded all the running backs. I think they've been in B's ever since, Marcus, from the very start, for what they've been able to show, what they've been able to give. So, the week before they had B+, this week they had a B. And the thing is, the more opportunities they get, you'll see more of it. The better the line up front gets and blocks, you'll get to see more of that. And so, everybody's like, he's not the home run guy. Well, shoot, we're not looking for him to be the home run guy. That's okay, right? I'm not asking, somebody like a smaller receiver to go out there and do a kick out block. We're not asking Remigio to go clear out the defensive end. It's not his role. It's not his job. We have somebody a little bit bigger to do some things like that, right? Kareem Hunt, we need for you to get the tough yards, and then whatever you get is yours. And he's been hitting it up the middle. He's been doing his job and catching out the backfield. He had a good game. And I think sometimes when people go into, Providence is when people look at the stats, and they think sometimes that some of these stats are pedestrian by their measure. Okay, oh my gosh, he didn't get a lot because my fantasy doesn't look as good. He's killing my fantasy. We need somebody on here on the fantasy. Look, listen, calm down, okay? Kareem Hunt's doing exactly what is asked of him, like Aaron Rose said. He's doing exactly what's asked of him, and he's doing a daggone good job. So,
I mean, quite frankly, we've talked about the blocking schemes enough that, like, if they're blocked, even one more guy's blocked for one more split second, Kareem could be off to the races. So, yes, we're bringing him in there for these third and short, fourth and shorts, but there's been many times where, like, if it was blocked even a little bit more properly, he's probably busting that out for 10 to 15 yards or even 20 yards. I mean, who knows? But, he gets in there for those first downs, and he gets what he needs to. And that's sometimes, you can speak to this, JD, sometimes that's sheer Kareem Hunt's will doing that more so than like the guys up front. Half the time, like, he's getting these first downs with these missed block assignments, but he's getting these first down yards because it's just sheer will and grit. Whereas if these things are blocked properly, he's getting busting them out for even more than that.
Right. Will or want to. That's all it is. And he's got the heart to do it. So I'm, for one, am happy he's on our squad. I'm glad we brought him back. He's been a star to me ever since he's returned to the Chiefs. So, hey man, go find somebody else on your fantasy team. Get somebody else on your fantasy. Grab somebody else. If he ain't doing it for you on the fantasy, that's okay. What we will do here in Kansas City is we're gonna win with him. Okay, Mr. Hunt. And so the hunt for Red October, I love that, Marcus. Every time you put it up, I love it.
No better time to do it than October, JD.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, that was it. It was on my mind during the Monday night game last night. I was like, what are his numbers, man? Because I don't think he's missed many. And then I went to pen and paper, JD. I was taking notes. Went to pen and paper, taking notes, and saw that he only missed one. And it was interesting too because I didn't realize that as far as the short yardage definition, it's third and fourth, 1 to 2 yards to go, not 3 yards to go, which I thought was interesting that the 3 yards that doesn't count as a short yardage play.
Yeah.
And he only had one attempt of those. He was 0 for 1 on 3rd and 3. So he only has one attempt at anything on 3 yards to go. It was mostly 1 and 2. So.
Yeah, like Hannah says here, it can't please everybody all the time. Some people just like to gripe. They do. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. So. That's true. And those same people who want us to go get Le'Veon Bell didn't work out. And so, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but those people went silent very fast after that didn't work out.
Yeah, I wonder if they put money on his boxing career.
Maybe.
Yeah. Look pretty good, I guess, in the ring, though. Look a little, yeah.
I mean, he's a ripped dude. I mean, he looks the part at least.
Hey, float like a butterfly, sting like a butterfly. Le'Veon, man, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we've taken our shots. I will say Veach has taken his shots on the running back position. And the fact that this offseason we only went with Eli Mitchell and we drafted Brashard Smith should tell you, I think they are satisfied with the running back room. And like that stat that I think we shared on our text message yesterday, that the run, what was the run block efficiency? Hold on.
Do you have that?
I'll pull that up right now.
I was going to say, man, pull that up so everybody can see it.
Because that tells the story more so than anything, Yeah, here it is.
I'll take a gander at that.
Yeah. Okay. So these key offensive line stats, guys. And so was it run block win rate?
Is there a way you could just enlarge it?
How's that look?
How
Here, let me see. How about that? Bigger?
Somewhat. Here, let me do this.
Yeah, no.
Someone if
See.
that's good. There you go. Perfect.
So, yeah.
So
So you want to explain what the graph is, JD?
So basically what the graph is saying is this is key offensive line stats year to date through week 4, rank in parentheses, run block win rate. And the Kansas City Chiefs is ranked at run blocking win rate. We're ranked 32nd. How many teams in NFL, Marcus?
I believe 32.
32 teams?
32, I believe. So that means we're last?
It means we're last. Wow. Huh. Jeez. Wow.
And who's been kind of referencing the offensive line run blocking more so than anybody else? Because people want to point the fingers at running backs. But there's one specific podcast I know that talks about the run block win rate consistently. Huh. Those guys know what they're talking about.
Yep.
But JD, obviously not surprising to you to see this statistic.
It is surprising. It's surprising because, we expect more. We felt like they were going to be one of the top units in the NFL. But I think I didn't think to be last, not at all. I would think middle of the pack, but we're last. But I think a lot of it has to do with, like I said before, we're pass blocking most of the time. We're not necessarily run blocking like we should. We didn't do it in camp. We couldn't, because camp is very limited in things you can do physically. But you got to make those things a priority. And so what I seen was during camp and coming to the first game or whatnot, we're sitting back on our heels. Why? Because we pass block more than anybody else. We're not firing off the football. We're not dump trunking anybody as we should, bulldozing anyone as we're capable of. But what we have seen, though, also too, this is just through week 4. It has gotten better. Okay, it has improved. But see, this is the overall for the first 4 weeks. So that means we weren't doing very well, Marcus. We was putting everything on the running backs. We put it on their backs, on their shoulders. Oh, we got terrible this, that, and blah, blah, such. Man, a little hard. Last week was the first time the line opened up holes. A lot better than what it has been. Absolutely. I do agree that life just right. And so, like I said before, this isn't, we weren't being overly critical. You know, we just sit there holding the guys to a high standard that they hold themselves to a high standard. I know other offensive line feels, what they think, what they believe. And so these guys know they could do a much better job on what they've done. You know, we looked at some of the film, and the film in itself was able to kind of show the things we were talking about. The grades, you know, for me, when I graded these guys out, what it was showing. It coincided with that, right? So we put the film up, and we'll watch how things are supposed to look and the grades. And there's this, okay, is this fair? Oh, well, shoot, maybe it is. So the range is 76 to 60%. We will continue to improve, but is this difference really statistically significant? Yes. When you're 32nd, that means that you got 31 other teams that's better than you significantly. And so depending on how many runs you're probably doing and whatnot, I think for us and our expectations, Laura, from what I'm saying now, I'm not the 76, but I'm just talking about the top ones, right? I think that is because other guys get paid too, right? So you're sitting there thinking, you know, what is it, 76%? So you're winning 3 out of your 4 battles, pretty much. Okay, let's just do it there. And so if you're at 60%, you know, you're losing, you know, 4 out of your 6 or 4 out of 10, you know, 3.5, however you want to do it. So we're not really running that many times. That's the thing about it, Marcus. It'd be different if we run a whole lot. We ain't even running a whole lot. And we're losing.
Yeah, because we're not running that much, and the times we do run, we're losing them. You know, it's like it's just not, the margin of error is not that not that great. What do you think? I heard I was listening to a podcast. I think it was John Middlecall, former Eagles scout, he's actually mentioned to you on his show before. He mentioned that he thinks that the next time the NFL and the Players Association gets together for their CBA, he thinks that because in 2020 they decreased the number of padded practices during the season as well as training camp. He thinks that there could be kind of an increase in padded practices again for things like this. How you're seeing, run game, because you have a decrease in preseason game, and you're seeing the run game not looking as good. You're seeing there's just bad football the first 4 weeks of the season. It's not as sharp. You're seeing a lot of penalties. You're seeing a lot of things. I mean, yes, it's going to happen, right? It's the first start of the season, but you're seeing it a little more than you would normally in from yesteryear, where teams don't look as sharp as they used to, because of less padded practices, and just kind of overall, using the first 3 weeks of the season as an extension of training camp, kind of thing.
Right.
What do you make of that? Do you think that could go a long way as far as increasing the product of play?
I mean, I think it definitely could. I think what you have to do, the time that you have, you just got to work on it. And that's got to be a priority of the staff, really, to get that type of work done. Now, you could increase padded practices, sure. I don't think there would be anything wrong with that. So it just would add to increase the product. Is that why we're doing it? Just to, for the product to be better than what it is on the field? Is that what we're looking for? Or we sit there saying that maybe the coaches are not getting done what they need to get done at the time they need to get it done, right? Because it like Laura was saying, the number one is at 77%. Okay, so it's almost 80. So you only lose them two battles out of 10, roughly. That's where you're at, right? Let me see who was that team. Matter of fact, they talked about. Oh, look who that is. It's the Bills.
Oh.
Yeah. So I wonder if that correlation goes in. You know who the second team is?
To Detroit.
Got Bears.
Huh.
Yep.
I feel like Detroit would be a top 3, top 4 team on there. Are they not?
Let me see. Let me see where Detroit falls in here.
Because that seems like a team that's very disciplined and very, I'm sure Campbell gets after it with those guys.
There's 26th.
Wow, that's
So they run the ball a lot. That's the difference.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. We don't run the ball a whole lot, and we're losing. So you can say balance it out, but if you're running that much, 68, I would say that's pretty good. I like to see what the rushing attempts are for them and it is for us.
Oh man, probably not even close. I think Gibbs has, as far as carries wise, I think he's gotten more carries in one game than Pacheco and Hunt have to combine this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the ones that are in our division. So the Chargers are 17th at 71. Okay. You got the Broncos, who are 16th, 71. Let me see where the Raiders, where they fall at. And they're 27th at 68%. I told you, Gente ain't getting nowhere with that line, man. He's not. So Amari and Hampton, he's been lighting it up. He's been lighting it up, man. So does that mean that we should open up some of these holes more for our guy? Yes, absolutely. We should win more of our battles. We should up front. That is important to do. So yes, sir.
So collectively, I just did the Lions and Chiefs. So outside the quarterback, so receivers, running backs, the Chiefs have 79 collective carries, and the Lions have 111. So 32 more carries, or 32 more attempts.
32 more attempts. So we're talking about 32 more attempts by 4. So that's 8 more attempts, averaging somewhere like that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Averaging 8 more attempts than we are.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of our tips this last game. That's where a lot of our tips came this very last game.
Yeah, and a lot of those in garbage time. Yeah, at the end of the game is killing them.
Yeah, 4-minute offense, right? So, I ain't true.
Yeah, and it put in comparison. Gibbs has 58 carries, and that's their top back. Our top back has 36 carries, so 22 more. Hunt versus Gibbs, 36 to 58, and then Pacheco's got 32. Demont's got 43, so 11 more than Demont, or 11 more than Pacheco.
Yeah.
That's a team that's committed to the run and committed to the balance there.
Committed to the balance. They do a good job of balancing what they do offensively. So
yeah.
But we worry about ourselves, right? We worried about
Right.
the things that we do. We're looking for, those win rates. And even then, you're looking at like, okay, shoot, what's the measure of how they looking at what plays we're running? Like, what are they looking at? Like, assignment wise. So it'd be interesting to see how they came up with this metric. So.
Yeah. Again, it'd be interesting to see how they came up with it. But overall, though, I do think I know they took out the practices for safety precautions for players.
Of course,
decreasing it. And I think some people, Middlecoff also said some people are citing the injuries as well, that a lot of these guys aren't, prepped enough for the season. And you have and you're seeing a lot more injuries to start the season out than you have before in years past, just because guys aren't kind of prepared for that because of the lesson decrease in kind of contact practice. What do you think about that?
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I always repeat this is, to have a tough team, you got to practice tough. You got to do the things to get your body ready and prepared to play football. The only way you're going to do that is you got to play football. You got to do all those things. So go for Casey. JD, did you have 2-a-days? Absolutely. My entire career. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I don't even know how many padded practices. I can't even tell you. But I tell you what, when we got into the season, we was in mid form in blocking. That's for sure. So it was good.
Yeah, I mean, it prepped you for the long haul. I mean, shoot.
Yeah. Shoulders and all that was right.
Yeah, I mean, you see the way these guys are practicing now, and you had a long career as it was. You could, if it was like this back then, you probably played. You got to play 20, 25 years, JD. You could have had a LeBron type of career.
Man, all the time. I say, man, I would have played 20 years easy. With this type of like the practice schedule they get, easy 20 years, no question about it. So, we beating ourselves up in camp. Coach Vermeer, boy, he makes sure we strap it up, man. We're going live. Strap it up. We're going live. Okay, I got you, Coach. Me and Priest kind of talked about that on this podcast, man. We had a really good story, kind of about just going live, and he got hit one time. I remember one time we went. I don't even know if we was going live. I don't think we was going live. It's supposed to just be butt off, right? Tap off, there's a butt off, that's it. It's done. And Priest ran, skirted out, and somebody blasted him. I don't know who it was, but
Is this the Wesley story?
I think so. When G-West hit him, I think it was G-West hit him. Bam! Hit Priest, man. Priest did like it, took his helmet off, went to the side. He was done. Got on the knee, like, hey, man. No, sir. No, sir. That was it. That's it. So now said Bertoni didn't block JD down. No, TG blocked. I will give it to TG, man. TG will block his tail off. That's a fact. We both did it. That's what we did. Even though he would go out and catch the passes, he get in there, man, toe to toe, mix it up with guys, and he didn't mind doing it either.
And I'll tell you what, I know people are basing on TG's blocking just based on the time period of football he was in, because there were a lot of tight ends, who were blocking tight ends on that team. Now, if TG was around now with the way he blocked then, TG probably one of the best blocking tight ends right now.
No question.
Because he was judged based on, guys like you and other guys around the league, like the Casey Fitzsimmons types, right? But like, put TG in now's time, he'd be the best blocking tight end in the league, probably.
Oh yeah. Well, not only that, just also too, just catching the football.
Oh well, that's a different piece altogether.
Man, JD, man, I'm telling you, if I was playing in this era, boy, I have all type of records. And I'm like, you had the records, but he's like, man, I would have just blown out the water. So.
Oh yeah, he would. Yeah, man, he'd be like number 1 overall in all fantasy rankings every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
wouldn't be close.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, man. I tell you what, we can go ahead and get at it. I've been, I don't know if y'all can tell us, but I've been a little under the weather, man. I don't know if it's the ragweed or whatever.
I got hit by that last week. I thought I was coming down with a cold, and I ended up looking at the ragweed count, and it was high, and I was like, oh, I'm not taking any allergy meds. So I started taking allergy meds. I still have somewhat of a little thing, but like I feel much better than I did once I started taking my allergy medication last week, and it was the ragweed. So my eyes were getting bloodshot and everything.
Oh, well, yeah. So, yeah, I'm a little nasally right now and just like dripping. I'm just like, So,
all right. You want to set up for a Keys victory?
Yeah. We go ahead and get ready, man. I'll be back in a tick. Okay?
All right, brother. I'll hold down the fort.
All righty.
All right. Ooh, exciting. We got Keys to victory tonight, guys. Can't wait. Cannot wait. See, look at JD powering through. This is what Dick Vermeil, instilled in JD with all those 2-a-days and everything to kind of fight through it, baby. Fight through it. No matter how sick you are, fight through it. And that's that JD's still doing that with the Into the Dungeon segments on Friday night. So gotta love that JD powering through. Honestly, I know we were talking about the offensive line, the Kareem Hunt, the flack he's been getting, but I think it's one of those things that sometimes we are in an age of betting, and it's a betting show, and we're in an age of betting, we're in an age of fantasy where people don't really appreciate the tough yards, and I think like It's surprising too because for so many years we wanted a guy to come in and get the short yard stuff, and we didn't have it. We couldn't do the QB sneaks. We had to do Noah Gray jet motion and getting a QB sneak or Blake Bell doing it, and like now we have a guy who's going to do it pretty and 91%, 10 of 11. It's pretty automatic. And I don't want. I think he was like 15 of 20 last year in short yard situations too. So either way, yeah. Jazzy D, cayenne pepper for both of y'all. We'll open the sciences pronto. Ooh, okay. I'll you know what after the episode tonight I'll do some of that, or maybe when JD's doing keys of victory I'll get to that cayenne pepper. Get in there, baby. Go for Casey Forever. Yeah, it was Tony G and Antonio Gates comparison all the time. I mean, Gates was good, but TG was on another level, man. I mean, and also too, I know we talk about this a lot, but like, and I'm not dogging like some of the quarterbacks we've had. We had great quarterbacks throughout the years, but consistency and continuity. Tony had like a different quarterback every other year. Outside of the solid years he had at Trent Green, it was a different quarterback every year. You know, Rich Gannon, Elvis Gerback, Quinn Gray, Brody Croyle, our guy Tyler Thigpen. You know, you had a different guy almost every year. There was not that continuity and consistency. So I think that definitely helps big time. I think that helps big time. And well, it helps for Antonio Gates' case, but it also shows you how good Tony was because he was quarterback proof. And I think that's just something that like, a lot of people don't really go into because they just look at the numbers. Oh man, Tony G was great, but then I'll throw this guy to the ring. Well, there's more context behind those numbers that Tony G had, and he, in case you ever know, it shows Elvis over Rich Gannon. No, I was meshing both guys, Gannon and Elvis Gerback. We had multiple guys throughout. And those are two of the guys that he had throughout his tenure. Tyler Palco. Oh, yeah. Tyler Palco was on real one of the early days of this show. Tyler Palco was on this show. Tyler Palco never crossed over with Tony, I don't believe, though. I don't believe him and Tyler Palco crossed over. But yes, of course, I remember Tyler Palco. Yeah. Love Tyler Palco. Tyler Palco, solid. He was great at Pitt. I'll tell you that much. He was awesome in college. Jazzy D, eat it. Do not snort that pepper. I will not snort that pepper. I promise you. I will not snort that pepper. Are you kidding me? My nose would be burning. I would do the opposite effect. I'd be done for days. Kidding me? But I appreciate that distinction there, Jazzy D. Brian Hwang, Rich Gannon would have won us that playoff game instead of Elvis. Man, Rich Gannon, man, one of the more underrated quarterbacks of the last 25 years. I mean, I know he played for the Raiders, ended up going to the Raiders and doing his thing over there, but definitely one of the more underrated quarterbacks of the last 25 years. A lot of these young bucks, these millennials and Gen Zers don't even know who Rich Gannon is, and I think they probably know him as the guy who calls games for CBS. They don't know him as that quarterback who he was, man, because he was a dude. Gosh, remember that? There was that 1 year he was like primed. I think it was a year after the Super Bowl run for the Raiders. He got hurt, and then that was kind of it. That was the year after he got hurt. They had Marcus Tuiasosopo, who was supposed to be like the next big thing for them. He got hurt, and they ended up going with Rick Mirer, Rob Johnson. All these guys coming out of the woodworks to play for them that year. That was the beginning of the end for the Raiders, really. And it's crazy because they haven't recovered from that. Like for what happened with Rich Gannon in 2003 after losing that Super Bowl, or 2002, I believe. They haven't recovered from it. It's been almost 23 years. Yeah, at some point, you guys got to recover from that. I mean, gosh, man. But yeah, that was like the early days. My early days of watching football. I was like 9, 8 years old. We're watching those. Watching Rick Mirer coming out on Monday night for the Raiders and whatnot. Sasha, I feel like Jay's energy is going to be special tonight. I'm going for a PR on the rower. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sasha, yeah, Sasha watches the Friday shows at the gym. I forget. So there you go. Jay's going to bring it tonight. It's JD's allergy game, guys. Jordan had the flu game. JD's bringing the allergy game tonight. Okay. So remember this. This is a ragweed game. We're going to call it the ragweed game. Simi probably usually go with egg roll, hot mustard, and okay. Not bad. Demetrius Spence bought a Brody Croyle jersey out of TJ Maxx for $12. Well, let me tell you, Demetrius Spence, when I was like a 7th grade, 6th grade, I was a huge Brody Croyle fan in college. Loved him in Alabama. Loved the flow. Loved everything about that kid. And I think for Christmas that year I asked for, because they didn't make the Coral jersey. It wasn't on the NFL shop website. So my main Christmas present was a Brody Coral custom made jersey. Which bless my mom's heart, you know, she went out and got me that from NFLshop.com, the custom made Brody Coral jersey, which I still have. But bless my mom's heart for getting me a custom made Brody Coral jersey. Yeah. And if you guys watched the show before, I've told a story, but my brother and I went to an autograph show in Northern Virginia, the Chantilly autograph show, which is a pretty good one. If you guys ever want to come out to one of the autograph shows, they always have really good ones. But Len Dawson was there, and we were getting an autograph for Teja. My other brother got Teja's Chiefs helmet and was going to get it signed by Len Dawson. And so I went with him, and I wore a Coral jersey. And, you know, Dawson was calling games at the time where Coral was there. And this probably, I think it was maybe a few years after Coral. But Dawson was there, and we go up there, and I'm wearing the number 12 jersey. And he goes, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's," and I'm kind of confused by him. Like, why is he asking whose number that is? I mean, you should know it's Brody Coral. I mean, he's the quarterback, the hopeful quarterback for us. And I go, "Brody Coral," and he goes, "Who?" And I turned my jersey around like, "Brody Coral," and he was like, "Exactly." So, funny story about a Brody Coral jersey. So, Demetrio, appreciate this. You got to steal on the $12. My mom spent primo for a custom made Brody Coral jersey back in the day. So, congrats to that, buddy. Wishy Hall, the Pollen podcast. Ooh, there you go. So not the flu game, the Pollen podcast. Love that. I do love that. Sasha Gang got screwed in that game. His center went crazy. AWOL. Callahan didn't change. Audibles from one. Yeah. Barrett Robbins was that center, man. That was nuts, man. That was nuts. Perfection 2K. Go for Casey Ferreira. And I was pissed when they did that. Go for Casey Ferreira. My first jersey was a Derek Thomas jersey. Ooh, nice. Solid. Was it the gosh, I don't know if they even made it back then, but like they had the 75 anniversary patch on it. It was like a diamond kind of thing on the side. I know like the remakes of those jerseys, they have the patch on it. Yeah, I mean, Derek Thomas, shoot. Probably one of my favorite jerseys I have is I love like the really random ones. Probably one of my favorite one. I have a Warren Moon Chiefs jersey. That's a fun one. You really can't find that anywhere. I think it was a Puma. That's a good one. Man, I've got a few random ones over the years. I mean, I've had to like go out of my way to get them. Like I had obviously, shoot, who's the? Now Warren Moon was probably my. I have a Bono jersey, obviously, which I'm sure a lot of people have a Bono. Andre Rison, Derek Alexander, it's a good one. I have that as well. I have a pretty good extensive jersey collection. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when we have guests come on the show, I usually have a jersey for that, which is funny. But I usually have that. I got a thick pin jersey, of course. Was a huge fan. Another guy I thought was going to be the guy, but they gave up on him too soon. And I'm not the only one saying that. Tony Gonzalez said that in his exit interview that season. He wanted Thick Pin to be the guy. Okay, he wanted Thick Pin to be the guy. Okay, he thought they gave up on him too soon. Brian, when you get whatever jersey you want from THK, you can. I will say I've had really some bad flaws of DHK jerseys, Brian. Like I had one. It was like a Sammy Watkins jersey. It was a Kareem Hunt and Sammy Watkins jersey. It was during that like the 2018, 2019. I got it. It's got the yellow and white on the side. The ribs is fine. The jersey itself was a burgundy jersey, and the number stitching looked like a Commander's jersey. I mean, it was horrible. So I'll never do that again. I will say DHK, if you want to do the DHK jerseys, like NBA jerseys, I think they do pretty good with soccer jerseys. But the NBA ones are probably the best ones to go. Football ones, man, like I would not do that. I got a Chiefs jersey that looked like a Commander's jersey. Don't do that. No, I would refrain from doing that. But yeah, a lot of the Chiefs jerseys I have, the Derek Alexanders, the Bo Richters, those are all like the ones they made from that time. Either way, it was Champion made jersey, Star, Puma, obviously Reebok. But yeah, a lot of those jerseys I have were like from like those, and they're not stitched either. A lot of them like the what do you call it? I forget what you call it, material. But yeah, Joel Embiid jersey. Oh, I got plenty of those, Marion. I got plenty of Joel Embiid jerseys. Yeah, you get Joel Embiid jersey from DHgate. Those are perfect. Yeah, that's where you want to get them. And plus, NBA jerseys. I will say this: those guys move around so much. There's no point in buying like an expensive jersey from that. There's no point. No point. They every week they're getting traded to another squad. So you can't do that. Demetrio spits, oh, no, DHgate, not for me, dog. Yeah, Demetrio knows. Basketball, I would say yes. I think basketball got some solid ones. But football, you can't. I thought when I bought the Sammy Watkins and Kareem Hunt one that would look like Commanders jerseys, never again for me. That was a never again for me. Aaron Rose, I have a James Hasty jersey. Ooh, that's a good one. I think I have a Dexter McLeon jersey. I think so. That's another like kind of random one. Oh, Production 2K. I have a Tony G Puma jersey. That's a good one. That's solid. It's also too with the kind of the obscure jerseys. It's not only the jersey itself. It's like what brand is that? You know, I love that. Like, yeah, I believe my Warren Moon Chiefs jersey is a Puma jersey. So like, yeah, it's not just the guy who it is. It's also the brand, and I think that's solid. Yeah. Okay. Go for Casey Forever. Yeah, it was a 75-year patch, but the name on back was KC Chiefs. Okay. Gotcha. That'd be solid. I love that patch. It's one of the cooler patches, that 75-year anniversary jersey. About time. I have a DT Hall of Fame jersey, never been worn, still has a $375 price tag on it. Was it a Mitchell and Ness jersey? $375. Woof. Man, that's hefty, baby. That is real hefty. Demetrius Spitz, I have a Rasheed Wallace Championship Pistons jersey. Okay. Well, is it a what that has the championship patch on it, or is it one of the ones he wore during that 7-game series? Just curious. I have a Jamal Charles jersey I bought from Arrowhead on game day. Ooh, nice. That's nice. That's a solid one. There was a one, you guys probably seen it. I don't know if you guys are as into the jersey collection as I am, but if you go on eBay, they were around for a while. There's a lot of them. I don't know how they have this, but it was a Steve Breston Chiefs jersey, but it was like a defunct one that the manufacturer had problems with it. I guess the front of the jersey was blank. It was white, had no number on the front, had the AFL patch, had the NFL equipment logo, but there was no jersey there was no number on the front. It was blank, but the back was Breston. I didn't get that one, but you know what? I'm gonna check and see if it's still on eBay. I might do that just because it's a random jersey that they have that I used to see a lot on eBay back in the day. When I say back in the day, I'm talking like 5 to 7 years ago. So maybe they still have it. I don't know. But that was an interesting one. And also Steve Breston. Yeah, that's a rare jersey. If you see someone wearing a Steve Breston jersey, you're like, okay, you're a fan. Or Chris Chambers Chiefs jersey. That's another good one. You know, that's a random. Chris Chambers was almost going to be a guest for us one time on the show. I don't know what happened with that. But yeah, that was also an interesting period for Chiefs. We had Steve Breston and Chris Chambers. But I wasn't a big Chris Chambers fan. He was solid with the Dolphins, and he was solid with the Chargers for a little bit. So yeah, big fan. Yeah, big fan. Demetrius Spence, no championship patch. He didn't wear. I wish. Shoot. Yeah. Rasheed Wallace, that'd be a cool guy to have on the show. A Chiefs fan. Played ball. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get pull some strings on that. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can do that. Rasheed Wallace, guy knows ball. I actually went to college with his son at Barry University in Miami, Florida for a little bit. It was my last year there. It was his first year there. Division II school, which I was kind of surprised in D2. But I think he transferred down from a D1 school. But it was before the NIL where all these guys transfer all the time. So yeah, it's an interesting connection there with Sheed. Walked by him at school, kind of gave him a little head nod. Didn't stop saying hello. A lot of people were kind of whenever he was stopping around people would just rally around him all over the place. And, one of those like I breathe. He was with his kid. But we shared it. We exchanged a head nod. I wonder if he remembers that. Doubt it, but we exchanged a head nod. One of these, those are always great. Who else is in here? What else we got? Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, Marion Oliver still got my Larry Johnson jersey. Love it. Yeah, I got LJ. One of the Christmas gifts I got Teja a couple of years back was a Larry Johnson number 34 jersey before he went to number 27. It was his first year when he was wearing number 34. Yeah, a lot of people forget that he wore 34 his rookie season. But yeah, 34, and then he changed to 27. Yeah, Larry Johnson, man. Larry Johnson, when I was a youth league, I was a running back before I went to high school and I became a slot receiver. But Larry Johnson was one of the, obviously when you see these guys, you want to emulate them as the best you can. So my way of doing that was not like, everybody on the team had the normal mouthpieces. I got the one with the one that covered the lips and stuff. I had to do it. LJ was doing it. I had to do it, and I would tuck it in the face mask part right here, just like how LJ would do it. So yeah, man, Larry Johnson was great, man. I was a huge LJ fan. I don't say anything Chiefs related. I was a huge fan of. We could sit back and like critique things, but I'll always find a way to rationalize it, man. I always find a way to rationalize my guys. Love my Chief guys. Love my guys. Perfection 2K. I see more Dan Sullivan 2 shirts than jersey. Interesting. Huh. Yeah. That is interesting. I think our guy might be right. Not yet. All right. I have a Grunhard game worn jersey. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Yeah. Yeah, there's certainly auction websites that have like the game worn jerseys. I mean, you could get like some guys for, they're expensive, but like some guys, a lot of fan favorites, you can get some like, $200, $300 for game worn jerseys. I mean, I'm not, I like wearing jerseys. So if I get a game worn jersey, I'm not going to, I want to sport it, I framing jerseys, putting it up. If it's autographed, sure. But like, it depends on obviously what the item is. I think they have a Cream Hunt. You can actually get a Cream Hunt game worn game pants from like that 2018 season online as well. Those are, at the time, they were running you not that much because, after he left Kansas City, no one wanted anything to do with any Cream Hunt items. So at the time, those were cheap. I don't know what they are now because he's back in the squad, but yeah. Demetria Spence, that's awesome. I love Rasheed Wallace, my favorite Piston on the 2000 business team. Demetria, I'm assuming you are a Pistons fan, or you're just a Rasheed fan. So were you Portland Trailblazers Rasheed fan? Or yeah, I'm assuming you're a Pistons fan. And are you from Michigan, Demetria? I got some roots in Michigan. I worked in Lansing for 2 years, so For case for every question, do they still have Chiefs pep rallies at Westport? No clue. Anybody? Go for case you're ever asking that question. I didn't pay for it. My brother gave it to me. Oh, nice. That's a great gift. Hey, kudos to Bout Time's brother. That's sweet. Love that. I agree, Marcus. I like wearing jerseys too much. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing, right? Like, let's say I got like a game worn jersey of, name the player, Damon Heward game worn jersey. First off, that's sweet. But like, if I got it signed, that's a cool thing to frame. But that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, sorry, the random name drop, but like that's cool. Damon Heward signed that puppy. I'll frame that up, and I believe I do have a Damon Heward jersey actually. So there you go, another obscure one. Casey Prince would be another interesting one. Not a lot of people would get that reference, but that would be an interesting jersey to get. How do you think Mahomes' cracked helmet is worth? Whew, man, did they auction that off? Because if they did, whew, man, they went a lot. Because two things, right? That helmet itself is a lot of money, but the fact that it was a game worn, it's Mahomes' anything Mahomes is attached to is going to be instantly overpriced, right? But yeah, I can't imagine how much that is. I'm a Pistons fan, yeah, from Battle Creek. Ooh, Battle Creek. I had a buddy who was from Battle Creek. I believe Eric Fisher's from Battle Creek, if I'm not mistaken. Demetrio. I think Eric Fisher is from that area because my buddy went to the same high school as him. I could be wrong, though, on that. But I thought, because suburb outside of Detroit, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I was in Lansing, so I wasn't really around the suburbs of Detroit that often, unless like I was on my off days going up there. That cracked helmet should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it definitely is. It's probably in like the KC booth of stuff. So, yeah, I have to imagine. All right, so JD is ready. All right, guys. Well, without further ado, enough of my rambling. We're going to get to our guy, the main event, everyone's favorite segment of the week. We're going into the dungeon for JD's Week 5 Keys to Victory, everybody. Enjoy the episode.
Lock in, Cheese Kingdom, Jason Dunn's dropping dimes. 10 keys to victory, it's football time. He's been in the trenches, he's battled the best. Breaking down the matchups, forget all the rest. From Mahomes to the defense, the blueprint is clear. JD's got the knowledge that the fans want to hear. Keys to the game, straight from a pro. How the Chiefs take the win, he's letting you know. Lock in, Cheese Kingdom, Jason Dunn's dropping dimes. 10 keys to victory, it's football time.
best believe the Chiefs are down there for business and blood. What is going down, everyone? How is everyone doing tonight? This is another episode of Keys of Victory. Yes, sir. You are down here in the dungeon with JD. See if I'm get all my stuff right, man. You know, get some things, just kind of balance some things out a little bit. So y'all just bear with me. While y'all bearing with me, I can talk to y'all a little bit. Went ahead and took the victory from last week. Great victory. Beat supposedly crippled and half dead and decimated, men short football team apparently from Baltimore. Okay, apparently they decided they weren't going to show up and play the games with the Chiefs. That's what I'm understanding. That because when I hear from everybody else, the whole commentaries and everybody getting out here, the talking heads, well, that just, the victory didn't really mean a whole lot. It didn't really mean a whole lot to the Chiefs or the rest of the NFL. Well, they should have beat the Ravens. Should have beat the Ravens. Even though at the first of the season, they had the Ravens up there and they might win. And this might be Lamar's year to go ahead and do everything. And last I checked, Lamar was on the field. Started out the game. Matter of fact, the first drive, they went down and scored. If I'm not mistaken. If my TV was broken, I didn't see it the right way. I think that's what happened. Then, of course, everybody's like, oh, see, here goes the Chiefs. We knew the Ravens were going to come back. They're on the upswing. And then all of a sudden, things started to shift a little bit. We went down, got a field goal, got 2 field goals. Then everything started coming into focus for the things that we needed to do. We had a chance and opportunity to remember who we were. And so one of the things we wanted to accomplish last week, we wanted everybody to see that the Chiefs were back. We wanted everybody to understand that we've been putting all this time to get better. The growth in itself was going to bring a victory, especially in Arrowhead. And the crowd was on top of them. They was yelling and screaming at them, and they didn't know what to do. Derrick Henry, all of a sudden, wasn't getting the runs in the game. He was getting popped. And Lamar tried to come out with a little bit of his magic, kind of do his thing, and it didn't work out. Before you knew it, our mallard duck, okay, our decoy, we started to throw him the football often and early. Run the ball often and early. See, and I said as soon as the Xavier Worthy was going to play, he's not a decoy. It's not what he is. If Warren was going to play, he wears number 1 for a reason. He's a tough kid. He came in and he showed out exactly what he's supposed to do. Now, get the victory, decisive victory. Lamar hurts his hamstring, okay? Now, he may play this week, he may not. I don't know what it is. But I tell you what was more hurt than his hamstring, his pride. That was what was hurt more than anything else, his pride. And also, too, what I seen was a lot of this backtracking. I mean, it looked like Michael Jackson, doing a moonwalk. You know what I'm saying? Just start moonwalking a little bit back. I don't know. Who we got? Is that really the Chiefs? Nah, it's the Ravens. The Ravens are terrible. They ain't got nobody. Look, who they got? They only beat the Giants and they only beat the Ravens. And they got beat by Philadelphia and they got beat by the Chargers. So Marcus, can you play that video real quick? Just that little video, okay? And we'll see if that comes up. And we're going to just show you a little bit how some of the media still talks about the Chiefs. So
You see them.
2 losses.
The 2 wins that they had were over the New York Giants and the decimated Baltimore Ravens. Not that impressive to me, whereas the losses were versus the Chargers and the Eagles. I think there are big-time issues with this Chiefs team, and I'm looking more at the losses than I am the wins.
Yeah, I see it the same way, in large part because the Chiefs' offense is one-dimensional. They can't run the football. There is no.
Huh. Well, there you go. And that is courtesy of Chiefs Receipts. Chiefs Receipts, if you see this thing, man, shout out to you for bringing in all this great content that you do, provided for us. Because I tell you what, man, I'm going to be pulling a lot of these things out like you do. You do a great job of it. Guess what? That's just not the only one. It ain't the only receipt. There's several that came out. So we don't look at this team as the 2-win team. It's the 2-loss team. Because the Giants and everything else we're supposed to beat. I kind of figured everybody gets paid in the NFL to win games. That's what you come out to do, right? You know what? Hey, you know what Herm Edwards used to say? Old coach of mine, hello, you play to win the game. You don't play to show up. You play to win. And I tell you what, it don't matter what people say about us. Doesn't matter how decisive our win is going to be. People are at the point in their time in their life that they're just tired of the Chiefs winning. They loathe the Chiefs. That's what they do. They loathe the Chiefs. That's the reality, okay? That's what's going on right now, okay? They can't stand us. They can't stand Patrick Mahomes. They can't stand Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. They can't stand KC Wolf. They can't stand Andy Reid. We on every commercial. They are just tired of the Chiefs, right? That's what it is. Well, guess what? Y'all get used to it because we're going to be here. We're going to be here for quite a while. As long as PM15 is right there, throwing that rock, we're going to be here for a while. Now, we're going to talk about these Jaguars real quick because everybody talking about how good the Jaguars are. They're pretty good defense. Not taking nothing away from them, okay? They're out there, and they got one of the best defenses in the league. Great against the red zone, great against all these other. So we got a little something for them, okay? So we talk about these keys to victory, how it's going to look. Now, what do we have to do when we go down there to Jacksonville? Now, we said the weather might be okay. It may not be. It might be a little monsoon. We don't quite know what the weather's going to be, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because all that matters is when you still hit people in the mouth, it takes them out the game. We're going to go down there. We're going to tattoo quite a few jokers up when we get down there in Jacksonville. Now, let's talk about this thing right here. So, number one key we're talking about, right? Hey, play fast. Get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. That's what we need to do. Well, shoot. Coach Dunn, who's the playmakers on the team? Well, we got a lot of playmakers. That's one thing that we do have. We got a ton of guys that can make some plays. Tons of them. So, hey, we know we got Worthy, Hollywood, Thornton, Juju, Trav, Gray. I mean, I can keep naming them. Smith, Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, we got tons of them. So that's what we're gonna do. Get the ball in the players of get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. That's what it is. That's the first thing we have to do. Number two, more balance and tempo to the offense. Been saying this all year. Last week we decided to do it. It looked great. More balance and tempo to what we were doing. And it took us a little bit. After the first quarter, still wasn't where we needed to be. We finally figured it out. Now, the defense did a great job getting the ball back for us. That's what we needed. Leo Chanel catching that ball. Shoot. I'm going to say yes, okay? Leo Chanel could come in the backfield on short yardage. Matter of fact, you could use him as opposed to a tackle and catch the football if you wanted to. Leo Chanel could go down on the goal line. You could use that too. Just a little something there if we wanted to do a little bit of that. But, hey, that's our tight end's job. That's why our TEs. Hey, that's why we go right here to number 3. Unleash the TEs in this game. Unleash the Krakens, the TEs in this game. That's what we have to do. Travis Kelce rules the middle. Okay? They run a lot of zone. Travis Kelce is going to be the guy this game. I'm looking at Travis Kelce to have at least 6. I think he said 94 yards. He might be close to 100 this game. I'm telling you. Noah Gray, same thing. Is this going to be the first game we see Robert Tonyan catching the football? Is Bob going to get a little bit of, is Bob going to get a little taste of things? Huh? Down in Jacksonville? I do hope so. I do hope so. Got to list the tight ends this game. Number 4, protect the football. But take shots. Let me be clear. This is a very stingy defense. We got to protect the football. They do takeaways really well. They play fast. We understand that, do a great job of that, but we have to take shots. That shouldn't scare us at all. Like I said last week, the Bill Parcells quote, we can't worry about going down in flames. Hey, look, we are on a whole different mission than everybody else. Everybody else want to say, well, who's the top teams and all this? We on a whole different mission. We are. We're going to let the chips fall where they may. Doesn't matter what everybody else thinks, okay? But in this game, we got to take the shots. So we got a chance to go up top when we need to, okay? Number 5 thing we have to do, keys to victory on offense, we must score in the red zone. I'm looking at 70%, okay? That's what I'm looking at. When we go down, we got to think TDs. We got to think touchdowns. When we get in the red zone, when we get the ball, we got to run the football. We got to do things play action-wise. That's why I say use tight ends in this game, especially down there in the red zone. That's going to be the key for us. We got 3 very good tight ends who have experience in the NFL, who's caught a lot of touchdowns, caught a lot of balls. We must utilize the tight ends in this game, okay? So we must score in the red zone. 70% is where we're looking at. Now, we're going to go through the defensive side of the football. Defensive side. That's how I look at it. What up, Kalaukas? What's up, George? How you doing, buddy? Doing all that for my man? Good to see you. Hey, you had a great game last week. You had a really good game. Hey, how about that? Follow it up. Follow it up. You know what Chris told you? You can't? Huh? Get some more sacks. Go do it, big fella. Looking for you this time. Now, defensively, we kind of know what they got, right? Brian Thomas is a monster on the outside. Got a pretty good young tight end. I like him a lot. Okay? Etienne is looking like his old self a little bit. And they got my man, Sunshine. Sunshine! Okay? Hey, we're going to be ready for them guys. So what do we think we have to do against this team? Well, hey, we got to go against them, right? So number 1 thing we have to do, okay, we talked about that, all right? The Etienne looks at it. Got it. Stop the run. Got to hit the gaps. That's what we're looking for. Got to stop the run, hit the gaps. We can't let them start using the runs to create more opportunities so they keep the ball in their hand. You understand? We got to make sure that we are controlling the clock and managing the game the way the Chiefs play ball. That's what we have to do. See, Jacksonville go down there. You know, Marcus asked me, how's it played in Jacksonville? Okay, and I tell you, I had bad memories. Okay, if you missed the little story I talked about on Wednesday about dislocating my elbow, still hurts right here. So I want them to go get a little bit of, little get back with JD. Okay, a little bit of get back with JD. Ooh, look at that right there, boy. Right there. That's what they're gonna see. They're gonna give them a whole lot of that. Okay, so stop the run, hit the gas. That's what we have to do. Number 2 thing. Hey, bring the heat. No sunshine. I know his joke right here, Sunshine. He'll give it up. He'll come out there with his little locks, making, he got a good throwing motion. It looks like he's, should be all world. But I tell you what, man, when you bring heat on that joker, he goes absolutely, he falls apart. Okay, I was going to say something else, but I know the girls are watching. Girls, y'all watching, shout out to you all. Shout out to y'all, all right? Bring the heat, no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And so no sunshine, we're going to put it on him, okay? Number 3 thing we have to do, and I talked about this, aggressive on the outside. You know that. We're looking at Noah Williams, okay? Trent McDuffie. We're looking at those guys to go out there and do a great job. All right? Brian Thomas been okay this year, right? I know y'all picked him up in fantasy. All right? But I'm telling you right now, this week, you better put him on your bench. I'm just saying. You better put him on your bench. You see this guy right here? This young dude right here? Hey, he's making noise in the NFL. Put Brian Thomas on your bench this week. You better do it. Hey, I'm just giving you the real. Because he's going to be able to shut this down. And we know he's one thing, he's aggressive on the outside. That's what I love about Noah Williams. He's an aggressive man. And I kind of made a little, I said, he's so deep, he got depth to him. So he looked like he might be playing the lute or something like that when he's sitting in his room just strumming away at the guitar. And he's thinking about, how am I going to get in here? I'm going to take this ball away from all these guys out here. Okay? That's what I love about Noah Williams. Trent, it's about that time, baby. It is time for you to get you one. Let this week be that week. We know, like we said, we bring that pressure to sunshine. Ain't not going to happen. He ain't going to be able to do that with it. Okay? All right? Number 4 thing. Need to create turnovers. Every opportunity that we get. So whether that be interception because we know sunshine, right? Okay? Getting pressure on him equals probably about 3 turnovers. Just put this up there, okay? We done talked it up. 3 right there we looking at. Okay? Same thing. At the end, at a certain point, you're doing a little fumbling. Starting to get back on track. Hey, rip the ball off. If it's wet, we have chance and opportunity to get some turnovers this game. We need to go ahead and do that to make sure we seal this deal. All right? And number 4, I said this last week. It's got to happen this week. We must win the battle on special teams. Period. Point blank. That's what needs to happen. We must win the battle on special teams. Now, we looked good last week on the returns. Talked about Harrison Buckner. We don't quite know what's been going on with him, but we feel like he's going to get straightened out. Right? We've seen that he's going to, I'm sure he's been talking to his wife, getting his wife to help him out with a little bit to get him back on track what he needs to do. Okay? I'm just making fun. I'm just funning. I'm just funning right now. But Buckner, looking for him to be consistent. From here on out, I'm thinking Buckner's sitting there saying to himself, man, I ain't gonna miss another field goal or extra point. Guess what? I got a lot of faith in that guy. I do. I got a lot of faith in him. Because he's one of the most accomplished kickers in this time, in this era. And he's a young guy. He's a young guy. So he's going to be fine. He's going to be all right. We do all these things right here. This is going to be the key to victory. Hey, we're going to beat this team. I'm telling you right now. We scored 30 the other day. I'm looking probably, what we're going to be? What I say? 31-14 Chiefs. There it is. You heard it here first. That's what's going to be the score of the game. Now, let me finish this up. Who do we say we are? Are we defined by others that say that we're a two-loss team and the only wins we got is against mediocre football teams? Huh? Are we always going to take the opinion of people who are looking for our demise anyway? They don't care anything about what we do. They just want to see the Chiefs lose. We can be 16-1 and 17-0, and they would argue that the Chiefs didn't do anything to earn it, that we were lucky, that the refs have helped us, that we done had a rabbit's foot, that we had a horseshoe or four-leaf clover, whatever it is. We know we're not going to get that love. We know it. And you know what? I'm fine with it. We need to sit well with it and understanding that. All we need to do is take care of what we need to take care of. So what matters is what we tell ourselves of who we are. So every victory that we come with, week in and week out, we remind ourselves who we are. That's what we do. Since the other teams that need that confidence to get a win, get the confidence, stuff like that, we just say, hey, man, this is who we've been. This is what we do. The Chiefs standard becomes the standard. And that's the way it's been. And that's the way it's got to be. So we go down there, we go and dismantle these Jaguars in Jacksonville. I wonder what the narrative is going to be after this. Well, I'm going to tell you what, it don't even matter. Because we know who we are. We know who we are. It's about time you start figuring it out who the Chiefs have always been. We'll see you.
And another banger from our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, with that amazing keys to victory. And right with that being said, Teja joins us now to talk. Teja, welcome to the show. I know you were braving through the Southern California traffic while JD was getting the 10 keys to victory in. Another banger from JD. I know you're pumping everybody up, and JD suffered through some allergies, Teja. So that was JD's. Jordan had the flu game. JD's having the pollen podcast, as Witchy said in the chat earlier. It's the pollen. It's the podcast. The pollen podcast game for JD tonight. But nonetheless, great points made. I do think that people are overhyping the Jags team a bit. I think people are saying speaking too much, kind of talking about too much about their defense, where no one's really talking about their offense. And I think they think they can force turnovers on our team and win this game on Monday and be a very ugly win. That's supposed to be raining, which made me even happier about my bets on Monday night. But yeah, what are your brief thoughts about the game? We haven't really talked to you preview wise this game against Jacksonville. What are your brief thoughts about the game?
It's one of those, it looks like a good win before the game starts, but then if we beat them, then everyone's going to go back to thinking the Jags are just pretenders and not really that good. So it's like you can't win even when you do win, right? So I'm pretty confident going into it. I don't take them that seriously. Well, the funny thing is, if we beat them, it won't be regarded as a great win. If they beat us, Jaguars will be legit. So it's like, it's funny that one game can change like such a major perception for both teams. We lose a lot if we lose. We don't gain that much if we win. they gain a lot if they win. And if they lose, I mean, like, people are just going to say they weren't as good as they thought they were. But who's really trusting the Jaguars to be that great anyway, right? So,
yeah, and I was following a lot of like these betting experts, and I always listen to their podcasts and stuff. And like last week, I was listening to two of them who talked about how the Chiefs. There's no way the Chiefs can beat those Ravens. I mean, their defense is not good, but their offense. There's no way the Chiefs will be able to keep up with their offense, with the Ravens' offense. And then this week, and I feel like these people are just picking against us because this week I listened to them. They're saying, "Yeah, I just don't buy the Chiefs. They played against a Ravens defense that had nobody on it, and yeah, I'm not buying this Chiefs team. I need to see it, and I think the Jaguars team is just too good. It's like, okay, all right, well, there's no win because people just continue to shape a narrative in the way they want it to be shaped, just because they don't want the Chiefs to win. And that's how I'm feeling at this point.
Yeah, I mean, how about? I saw the clip I think you guys played earlier. It's the one that's making the rounds about, the Chiefs' losses are so much more important than their wins. Well, I mean, okay, but one of our wins comes against one of our losses, if that makes sense to you. Like the Chargers lost to a team that we beat that's supposed to be meaningless. So It's like, it's ridiculous to play that game. It's just stupid. For her to say that is as dumb as what I just said, really. It's all meaningless at this point. Like, we don't even know who these teams are yet, right? The Giants, for all we know, could be vying for a playoff spot. Right now, the Jaguars are in the playoffs, right? So, there's just a lot to go.
Yeah. And I was on the AFC roundtable on Tuesday, and I was going back on there to see the comments that people say, and then someone was like, I guess they didn't like my comment about the Chargers losing to the Giants because a lot of Chargers fans were making fun of me being happy about beating the Giants, and they're like, "Oh, it's just the Giants. You're patting yourself on the back too much about beating the Giants." And then Giants come around a week later and beat that same team that those fans are talking. And it's funny, those Chargers fans weren't really around in the chat during that live show at all this week.
Of course not.
But the comment was like, "Yeah, I love how Marcus is happy about the Chiefs beating the Giants, but it was a different Giants team. They had Russell Wilson when you guys played him. We had Jackson Dart." I was like, but Jackson Dart nor Russell Wilson plays defense for them, and they were up. They scored early in that game and had a wire-to-wire victory over you guys. So Wilson or Dart doesn't matter because they don't play defense.
You got a rookie in his first start. What do you mean?
Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently we were playing Wilson, who was like a world beater, scoring 50 points a game when we played him. All of a sudden, we beat again. It's we beat them, and it's a different story. We beat them, and it's Russ sucks. If Russ tore us apart, it'd be like, well, Russ, he's an elite quarterback. I mean, look at the way he's been doing this season.
It would be a resurrection story for Russ. That's what it would be.
Of course. Yeah, we make other teams when we lose, and we lose faith. Everyone loses faith in us when we lose to them. They lose faith in us. They love the other team. When we win, their opponent is not as good as we thought they were.
Yeah,
right.
So, whatever, man.
It's an endless no win.
Beat the team in front of you, and that's all you can do. And luckily, the only win we care about is the Super Bowl. So, we're over the regular season of wins. We're so far above that. I mean, that's for us to talk about and for fans to get riled up about, and for hot take shows like the one that you guys played earlier to get ratings. That's why they do it. That's why they say it. Dogging the Chiefs gets a lot of social media love. It gets a lot of attention.
It clicks.
But I tell you what, man, I think, to be honest with you, I think they really believe that. I think it is this really hateful attitude. I think they truly believe that the Chiefs are not very good this year.
They also want to believe it too.
They want to believe that. Yeah,
they want to believe it.
Yeah.
So like there's more conviction in what you're saying, and plus like there's no wins and losses anymore with the media. So like, nothing happens if they get called out for being wrong. It's whatever. No one cares anymore about that. So all it does is if it makes them the chief hater, guy on the show, then it's like great. That's his shtick. He's got a shtick now. It's like, so it's stupid.
Well, that's how Jason McIntyre, Colin Coward's little sidekick. That's what he is now. Like, he literally will go on the show and like he'll call himself saying he's the chief hater on the show. I mean, like he made a name for himself because Chiefs Kingdom's dominated him on social media where he's had gone months for blocking. I mean, he blocked us for a little bit after I made a receipt video on him after we won the Super Bowl against the Niners the second time around. Yeah, he blocked us. I checked back a year later. He unblocked us, but that video got 1 million retweets and likes, and it was a bunch of Chiefs fans commenting on it. And then he went through the entire thread, blocked everybody on that thread.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, look, everyone likes being right. Everyone hates being wrong. And I mean, the odds are against us. Like, keep going to Super Bowls. Like, it's a pretty unprecedented thing to go to 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8, 8 out of 9. So they're really playing the field. Like, they're not even making like a big call against us, right? Like, it sounds like this big going out on a limb call to say like, no, this is not the year they're going to make it. Oh, really? You're going to pick one team out of 32 to not make the Super Bowl, and you think that makes you Dunstradamus or something?
Well, and I feel like, and I feel this is
Notice I said
interesting.
Dunstradamus, by the way.
Yeah, but listen, that was like Bart Scott. Right? He was like, I think I called it 2 years too early. Really? So you're like one of those, apocalyptic, guys. Okay, end times. Well, here it comes. The world's going to end. Well, it didn't come today, so I was wrong. I was off maybe a couple of years. Well, wait, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Trust me.
So you've been bad at your job for 2 years?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
pretty much. And someone brought up Schlurth. I respect Schlurth what he said, because Schlurth is a hater, but I think he's a little more objective. You know why I think he is? It's because he does games. He calls games. I think when you call games, you get used to being a little more objective because no one wants to hear you dog a team for 3 hours. No one would tune into that. So, like, part of their job to call games is to be objective. So I actually like when he also puts his analyst hat on, goes on shows, because he does display his dismay, because he's a Bronco at heart.
Right.
He hates the Chiefs, but calls a spade. Like, he is honest about what he sees, right? That is his job at the end of the day, right? So I think I like hearing it from him a little more than I like hearing from someone whose only job is to only get clicks for stupid stuff they say.
The Eagles, I feel like last year when we were, barely winning these games, winning off like block field goals, one possession games, people were looking down on us, saying that we wouldn't be able to go back to the Super Bowl and just win the AFC. The Eagles aren't getting that same treatment as we are. So when people do their top 10 teams, Eagles are still one on everyone's board. Yes, they're undefeated still, like we were till week 8 when we lost to the Bills. But I feel like the Eagles aren't getting the same treatment as us, and they're winning ugly like we won last year, right? Like 2 games ago against the Rams, they had 33 yards in the first half. Last week they had -1 yards in the second half against the Buccaneers, and people are still saying, "Man, the Eagles are just finding ways to win. They know how to win." Say, okay, well, they're still at the top team, but last year with us, it was like, man, this is not sustainable. Chiefs aren't going to be able to do this all year long. No, this is not a good football team. And I feel like we aren't getting the same treatment. And again, this goes to this whole conversation of people just don't want us. They're tired of seeing us around.
At least we had a good time doing it. The Eagles are fighting and they're winning games.
Yeah.
They have disgruntled stars on their team. Could you imagine someone being upset last year when we were 4-0? I mean,
the media would have loved that.
We would have been slaughtering them.
Meat. Yeah.
It's so selfish. We would have been slaughtering them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the AJ Brown storyline's a weird one. Yeah, there's video of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith coming off the field after their win last week, and they both look demoralized. It looks, if you didn't know the outcome of the game, you just think, oh, they must have lost, like they won.
Selfish. That's what you like, man. I didn't get my catches. I didn't get my yards.
Which is dumb because it's like Brown and Smith both got their win and they both got paid. It's like, what are you worried about not having 1,400 yards this season? Like, cares?
Oh yeah, there's
no incentives.
Yeah, no, it's a big thing to him. I
get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he says his own words is he's the best receiver in the game. So he believes.
I mean, you can make an argument that he is.
I don't know. I ain't gonna argue that point. I'd say he's one of the top ones, but I wouldn't say he's the best.
You could argue it. I'm not saying it's no argument. You could say he is. I mean, he doesn't get showcased that way. If he was getting 13, 14 targets a game like Jefferson and Chase were, he'd have like 9, 10 catches for 120 yards every week. I mean, he's still pulling out 1,000 when he gets targeted like 5 times a game. He's very good. He's underutilized. I'm not saying he's not, but to be like disgruntled about it, that's the system. That's the team. Like that's your offense.
Well, what was he getting when he was down there in Tennessee?
With Tannehill?
Yeah. He was getting targeted pretty often.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah.
So
and they were winning. Or I guess they were winning. They were average.
So his last year there, he only played 13 games. He had 105 targets, 63 catches, 869 yards, 5 touchdowns. He only played so the year before was his bigger year. 70 catches, 106 targets, 1,075 yards, 11 touchdowns.
Again, 14 games. He was getting nicked up a lot.
Yeah, his only full season. He played 2 full seasons with Philadelphia, but his full season with Tennessee was his rookie season. Good stats that year as well.
I mean, he wants the 2023 seasons. What he wants.
I mean, look. He's a good receiver, and JD knows, right? Receivers, they all think. I mean, most NFL players think they're the best of the best, but receivers are a different type of breed, right? A different type of diva kind of personality, right?
Absolutely. You want to be the best. You should say you're the best. You should. Now, the reality is, you got a lot of great teammates around him, great talent. Saquon Barkley need to get his looks. Devontae Smith got to get his. Shoot, Goddard, Titans got to get theirs. So there's only one football. That's the way it works, man. And so if you've been successful winning, hey man, sit back and enjoy the ride. I get you want to be involved, but sometimes you get you involved, man, it might take us out of what we need to do offensively. We force feed you? We can force feed you. If you want to be the number one receiver, like you said, we throw you 20 balls and see, where it lands with that. But what is it going to do for us offensively? That's the question. You have guys like that who's not a team player. I mean, that just, you throwing a monkey wrench in the whole system. Come on now.
If I was AJ Brown, my counter to that would be, well, listen to Marcus Dash on Chief concerns. We don't look good. We're hardly winning games. We're winning games because of blocked field goals. We had negative yards in the second half. We had single digits first half the week before. We're not looking good on offense. Our running game is not very good. Throw me the ball. Try something different.
I mean, they made their comeback in that Rams game because they did target him a lot that second half. The second half was all pretty much going to him.
That's how good the Eagles are. The Eagles can do a lot. It can look a lot of different ways. It could be the ball control, trot up and down the field with like 7-8 minute drives, 15 plays. They can go deep with Smith. They can go deep with Brown. They can do a lot of different things. That's why they're a great team. They don't have to be the ball control team, but they do it until it doesn't work. They switch over to the high flying team.
Yeah. Yeah, but right now, I'll take where we are 2-2 over where the Eagles are 4-0 right now because there's a lot of noise around that 4-0, whereas us, we're feeling pretty good right now about ourselves in Chiefs Kingdom. So, gotta love that.
Yeah.
Jazzy D, what will Andy do to beat the Jags head coach? Well, JD said all that. The 10 keys of victory, buddy. But yeah, the people are hyping up Liam Cohen big time, saying he's probably could be in the Jag. I've seen some were saying that he's one of the front runners for Coach of the Year. Is Liam Cohen?
Really?
That's what I've seen,
early Coach of the Year.
One of the early Coach of the Year, yeah.
Sure.
There should be like a rookie Coach of the Year. I mean, there's always like 4 new hires every year, so they should have its own thing.
Yeah, I think they should have a lot more coaching award. They should have a coordinator of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it'd be a way for them to spread out and give love to more people than just one guy for everything, right? Because just because the coach of the year won, I would say a coordinator of the year would probably be from a different team every year than the coach of the year.
Yeah, they do try to spread that out. I'm pretty sure Andy's never gotten it with us. I thought he was going to get his 2013 season, the year he took over the 2-14 squad. And he didn't get it. Did they give it to Ron Rivera that year?
It'd be hard to, but I don't know. It's just you don't need many awards. Shoot, them suckers don't need no recognition.
Because imagine if you're a terrible offense or a terrible defensive team, and like your unit killed it. Browns, for instance. Let's say the Browns. I mean, like the Browns' defense is just like it's insane, right? Let's say they just continue this all year. But let's say they don't go anywhere because they suck on offense and they have a bad record in a year. It'd be cool to give that side of the ball some recognition. That's all.
You want Jim Schwartz to get an award, huh? Really going to pay for Jim Schwartz, huh, Tish?
No, yeah. Jim Schwartz is one of those guys. I was going to say a few weeks ago that I couldn't stomach as a coach, but when he got humbled, I didn't care anymore. He was one of those guys. They didn't like him. He's in the Sirianni area for me when he was a coach. It just bothered me.
It was Harbaugh that slapped him on his back, right? And kind of pushed him.
Yeah, the hard shake and push in the back.
Get out of here. Yeah, get out of here. Hey, man.
Yeah. It was the see you later.
Yeah. There more important people to talk to than you.
And his face afterwards was like,
yeah, he was so mad.
His face was great. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, at least those two kind of got at each other a little bit. Whereas Cohen said that, made that comment and walked away from Saleh. He wanted no part of Saleh.
He said it as he was already walking away.
Yeah.
Surrounded by 4 or 5 guys, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had a bunch of dudes between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saleh getting the rock bottom, man, the people's elbow.
Yeah.
Keep my name out of your mouth. What?
Well, Saleh actually
walking away.
Saleh ended up apologizing for it. He said maybe my wording of what I said about how they, do a good job of reading offenses or whatever, I could have been better wording from it. But he said what I said about him was supposed to be a compliment. It wasn't supposed to be an insult. But I understand that it could be taken out of context.
He said that after the loss, right?
He said it on like Tuesday. I guess it was their first interviews after the game.
Yeah, that's nice. Saying after you got your tail handed to you.
Well, you got to be the bigger guy, right? Say, hey, man, listen, all of that loose rap, trying to sell wolf tickets, keep them out of my mouth. Now, listen, if I could have got in for real. That's what I was saying. Like, I could have got him in for real. But we ordered this a little bit better. So, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, Saleh's a class act. I'm a solid guy.
Yeah, I like Saleh.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep my name out of your mouth.
Mr. Duval.
Yeah.
Duval. Oh man, that was probably one of the best, most awkward things I've seen from a coach. That Rob Marinelli is the game is played low.
Played low.
But all right, so now we're going to get to keys and cash, the betting portion of the show, the cash portion of the show for this week 5 battle against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So last week, Teja and I had a pretty good week, both at 4-5. I was 5 yards away from Mahomes getting over 275 passing yards. Teja, you were 1 carry away from Lamar's over on carries, Teja?
He had 6, so I was 2 carries away.
2 carries away. So 5 yards and 2 carries. Pretty close. But if you guys watched our show last week, JD was asking questions on which ones he liked. So what I did was I put the ones we liked, and then JD liked Mahomes' passing yards, but he liked it a little bit lower than 275. So what I did was I put Teja's. I put the 4 of Teja's best, and I put the ones that I liked the best from ours. But then I added the Chiefs money line, and I went from Mahomes' 275 yards passing to 225 yards passing. And I put 25 on that, and we got 764 out of that one based on the ones that we told you guys to pick from. So pretty good. Pretty good.
There you go, guys. See, we're not just saying it on here. We're actually, putting the money where the mouth is.
Yeah. Right. We're not just schmucks talking about bets, with no insight here. But so far, overall in the season, Teja is 11-19. I'm 10-19 on the season, and that's 19 because week 1 they voided all Xavier Worthy bets. So we had Xavier Worthy in both our bets week 1, and those were voided. So 11-19, 10-19 on the season. So about 50%. Pretty good. Pretty good so far.
You said so. What? How did they do it? How do they avoid the bet again? If a guy gets hurt, what does it have to be?
So on FanDuel and DraftKings offer a special promotion where in the first quarter, if a guy is hurt, they'll void the guy's bet out. So like, let's say, Worthy, for example, you got hurt third play of the game. If you had a 5-leg parlay, so our parlay, if we had hit the other 4 legs of that, we would have won that bet, even though and they were just taking his out. So it would have been like 25 instead of 330. It probably would have been gone down like 220. It just depends how high of a line that was with the right.
I just wanted to know this. So first quarter, if a guy gets hurt first quarter, they can avoid that bet. That's pretty good. Though.
It's a special thing that most sports book do. But FanDuel I notice has a first quarter void. But if it happens in the second quarter or late in the game, the guy's pulled out, then that's But
okay.
But first quarter is usually when they'll do it. So if you have an injury,
or when he quits in the third quarter,
they don't do that. But hey, he's missing this week, so
it's true. It's true. It's true. It's either legit or man. I've never seen a man commit to a lie this bad before, but it's probably legit. Let's say it's legit then.
Yeah, like I said, man, he's a competitor. He wanted to win. I mean, he still would have been in there trying to do something.
Yeah, if he had played this week, then I would have said, okay, something's up. They wanted to put it out there, but now they say he might miss a couple more games too. So
yeah,
it's also out there. All right, I don't think they want to go with this game with Cooper Rush. That's for dang sure. But Cooper Rush actually 14 starts in his career, 9-5 in his start. So Cooper Rush actually not bad. Also, did you guys think it was funny when Romo said when Cooper Rush came in, he was like, maybe Cooper Rush comes in and gives him a spark. Cooper Rush giving him a spark.
That's how bad of a game it was for them.
But the things the commentators say during games sometimes, are you actually hearing yourself, Romo? Cooper Rush
trying to get you to not turn the game off. It's so obvious.
It's like he come in with the chin strap that got only like one button on it. Like, you gonna be the hero? Come in, don't give us a spark. Like, yeah, right, man. His game is over.
That was. But all right, so Teja, take it away with your week 5 bet Ruski.
Let's do it. So Chiefs -2.5. I bought a point. I think it's 3.5, or it was when I had it. I don't have a lot of stats behind this. I just think the Chiefs win this game by at least a field goal. I don't think it's a blowout. I think it is a closer game. I think it's a closer game from like a late touchdown to get it to like this, right? So I bought it down. I think we win by a field goal. So 2.5. Under 51.5. So I get into that a little more. I see the totals being in the 20s. I see either a 27-24, 27-23. I do think there's a late Jacksonville touchdown to get it that close. So I don't think it's one of those really close games. I just think it's one of those that you say the game's not over yet. They're still within reach. I think they score a late touchdown to get it. Jacksonville's defense has been pretty stingy. It's not elite, but it's pretty stingy, especially against the run. We don't run the ball a lot, so I think we're going to see a lot of longer drives sustained, a lot of eating clock in order to score points against them, which feeds into my next bet. So Kelsey 40+. So Jags have given up a decent amount of yardage to tight ends this year. 39 to Schultz, 58 to Tungus. Sanders with Carolina had 27, but Young only threw for 150 that game, so it's hard to really judge that. Fant and Gesicki combined for 56. I think Kelsey with Worthy clearing out the top, and again, we don't have a sustained running game, so I think for the time being, I think our short passes will kind of aid that that lack of a run game that we have. So I think Kelsey does go for 40 plus. Mahomes 34 plus attempts. So Bengal QBs combined for 45. Young had 35. Stroud had 38. Purdy had 38. Mahomes has had at least 37 pass attempts in all but one game. That one game being against the Eagles, who we already established has a propensity to hold the ball for a very long time and sustain long drives to keep the ball. So I don't see the Jaguars offense sustaining that time of possession against us. I think he has 34 attempts at least. Worthy 50 plus receiving yards. The number one receiver on each team, the Jaguars have faced have hit 50 yards, except for the Niners, who, as you all know, their number one receiver is their running back, CMC. So, but even then, I think Pearsall had like 48, 46. So just still really close to 50. McMillan at 68, Chase at 165, Higgins at 56, Nico Collins at 104. I think Worthy goes for 50 plus. Short passes, intermediate passes, even a deep. 25 to win, 225.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. Let me see. Chiefs, 2.5. I think I got them winning. I had 31-14.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I think this is but I do believe they're going to beat them more than just a field goal. I think we'll at least beat them by at least 10 points. At least. The way our defense has been playing, I just don't see them being able to, really, generate a lot of offense. I think we're going to be pressured against Trevor Lawrence, which is going to rattle him. If we play tough on the outside like we have been against, the top receivers, I think we do a good job against Brian Thomas. The tight end, I think we'll do a good job against him. He's a pretty good tight end, young, and we've been pretty decent against the run. So at the end, we just can't let him go ahead and get started. But other than that, man, I think our defense is going to do a great job. I think they're going to do a great job against this team. What's the most points that the team scored on it this year? Has anybody gotten over 21? What was the
Jags at 27, or not Jags? Chargers at 27.
27. Mm-hmm. All right, but after that was pretty much kind of locked down. After
Yeah. Philly had 20 with the highest.
Yeah.
After that.
So I do believe Chiefs definitely would get that bet. Kelsey 40 plus receiving yards, absolutely. I think he probably does that. Yeah, easily. I think it's going to be a tight ends game this game. I really do. Like you said, Worthy and those guys are going to be able to kind of open up things for Travis. Hopefully we get all the other tight ends involved too. Noah Gray and those guys as well getting involved. Let me see. Mahomes over 34 passing attempts. I believe we'll do that. That's what we do best. And so I agree with that one. That's a good one. Worthy 50 plus receiving yards total. Yep. I like that one. Worthy 50 plus receiving yards. Total points under 51.5. Okay. So
what was your final score? 31-14?
I was 31-14. So I'm right there with it.
Okay.
I'm right there. That's good. So
there we go.
Good. Yeah. $25 went $225.
Not bad, Tej. Not bad. It's not like you, Tej. It's not like you. All right. So my bet, Tej and I kind of go different here a little bit. So I go Kelsey, 30 yards receiving, 30 or more yards receiving. That's what I had last week as well. 3 for 4 on the year with this number. 8 of last 10 games he's hit this. Last 5 times he's played against the Jaguars, 26 yards, 98 yards, 81 yards, 88 yards, 100 yards. So 4 of the last 5 times he's played the Jaguars, he's hit this number. And Teja went over all the numbers of Jags, all the tight ends they played. Tonga's 58 yards, Schultz 39 yards, Fant 28 yards, Sanders 27 yards, all within that 30-yard range. Well, 2 of them exceeded that, but the other 2 were right there. They're going to be going against a zone defense, but the Jaguars play heavy zone, and what I try to find here is an interesting one. So Monday's supposed to be a rain game. It's supposed to be a very wet field. So the last time I saw us play in a rainy game was a Monday Night Football game. Last year, we played the New Orleans Saints in that game. Rain game. That Saints defense was also a very heavy zone team. So rain game and heavy zone. Kelsey had 9 for 70 in that game against the Saints. So very similar type of scheme where they run a concept of man and a heavy zone team, and it's also rain. So I feel like Mahomes is going to have a safety valve and Kelsey there, 30 yards receiving. So that is Kelsey at 30 yards there. Next one is Brenton Strange, 4+ catches, 3 of 4. He's hit this 3 or 4 times this year already. He is their leading receiver in yards and in catches on that team. So he is Trevor Lawrence's guy. Liam Cohen. So the only time we played against a Liam Cohen offensive team where he's calling plays was last year against the Buccaneers. In that Buccaneers game, we played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their leading receiver in that game was Cade Otton. 8 catches, 77 yards in that game. And I believe he also had a touchdown in that game. Strange is already their focal point of their offense right now. I know Brian Thomas Jr. is kind of unhappy about the way the targets have gone around so far. Strange, 4 catches, 3-4 this year. And the fact that Cohen has already seen tight ends dominance in the past when he's played us, I feel like he's going to go that angle there and go to their leading receiver in Brenton Strange. So 4+ catches here for Brenton Strange. Next up, in the same vein that I have Kelsey as far as a safety valve against a team in the zone, I feel like we're going to eat them up in the middle of the field. It's going to be not dink and dunk, but slicing and dicing down the field. And I got Juju Smith-Schuster here, 30+ yards receiving. He's done this 3 or 4 times this year, and I feel like Kelsey and him are going to have a field day in the middle of the field on Monday night against his zone defense. So against Jacksonville in his time in Kansas City, Juju's gone for 33 yards and 29 yards. He's only played Jacksonville Jaguars twice in a Kansas City uniform. 33 yards, 29 yards, hovering around that 30-yard right there. But again, the zone defense, and the last time we played a team on Monday night in a rain game, specifically the rain game portion, was that New Orleans Saints game where that team runs a zone, heavy zone. In that game, Juju Smith-Schuster went off for 7 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown that game. So when it comes to a zone game with rain involved, Pat's going to his guys that he knows are going to be the sure-handed dudes, and that's Kelsey and that's Juju. So Juju, 30+ receiving yards in this game here. Then we go to my guy, our guy on the show, JD and I's guy, Kareem Hunt. 30 yards rushing. In 3 or 4 games, he's hit this year. 7 of the last 10 games in Kansas City, he's hit this. They've been pretty stout against the run. I know Chubb at 39 yards, only 8 carries against them. Woody Marks had 27 yards also in that game. CMC went 17 carries for 47 yards. Brian Robinson had 5 carries for 21 yards. Obviously, our running back 1 and 2 get more than 5 carries. They'll probably get around 8 to 9 carries if I had to guess. Based on what I've seen from our the betting spreads, and they have Kareem having more carries than Pacheco in this game, and they both having them both at their over/under set at 28.5 rushing yards. So we're buying a little, we're selling a little bit on this one because we think Kareem's gonna have a good 30-yard plus game. But going back to that rain game again, I can't continue to go back to that rain game against a Saints team last year that was a heavy zone team. Kareem got a lot of volume that game. I will say that. There was no Pacheco. He had 27 carries for 102 yards in that game and a touchdown. But I feel like in a rain game where, we want to be able to – a team that's very turnover, an opportunistic team like Jacksonville, I think they're going to be safe with the ball. They're going to get into Kareem Hunt's hands, especially if it is a close game. At the end of the game, they want to kill that clock. You give it a 29 and have dudes try to grab that guy in a rainy field conditions. So I have 30+ yards rushing for our guy Kareem Hunt. And then lastly, just Chiefs winning money line straight up. Chiefs money line. I think we're going to win. That's 25 to win 304.
Oh, interesting. Not bad. Kelsey 30+ receiving yards. I do believe he'll do that. Strange 4+ catches. You said he's done it 3 out of 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's the one that he didn't have the?
It was week 2. Sorry, let me grab that. The only time he did not get that was against the Bengals.
Okay.
Those are only
which is weird because they scored a lot in that game, right?
Yeah, and that was their only loss. So obviously, they feel like the formula is getting him the ball in the games they've won. So the 3 games they've won are the 3 games he's gotten 4+ catches. So
Okay.
And the only thing with that is we've been actually pretty good against tight ends this year. The only time we've given up more than 4 catches was last week against Andrews, who had 7 catches for 30 yards in that game. So
yeah, they start targeting him early. So he just gave it up to him. But we had to give up a little bit because we wanted to go after Lamar. So okay, Juju 30 plus receiving yards. I like this bet. It's not bad. It's not bad having a Juju bet out there. Yeah, we'll have to see. I like it. 30 plus receiving yards. Every week is different. Maybe this week he doesn't get, the targets, the catches. But it's something that we just have to see. But I like you going out there to get, getting this bet for Juju though. Hunt 30 plus rushing yards. I think he's going to do that too. I think we got to ride his back this week. Bring in Pacheco to get him, and then Rashard Smith and decide to do it with him as well. But I think Hunt definitely gets 30 plus yards. Chiefs money line for sure. Chiefs win. Bet $25 for 304.
all right. So now we get the competition here. Tej versus me, JD.
Yeah. So Chiefs negative 2.5, like that one. Kelsey 40 plus receiving yards, like that one. Mahomes over 34 passing attempts, like that one. Worthy 50 plus receiving yards, like that. Total points 51.5, like that. Then yours, Kelsey 30 plus receiving yards, Strange 4 plus catches, Juju 30 plus receiving yards, Hunt 30 plus rushing yards, Chiefs money line. I'm gonna tell you what. So I'll say this. With what the conditions are going to be out there on the field, this week, I think it's going to be play a safe bet. So I'm going to go with Teja on this one. A little bit more safer bet on this. Okay.
What scared you away, Marcus's?
The Juju 30 plus receiving yards.
Okay.
You don't think with that the zone aspect of it, you don't think he'll be kind of the part of the underneath get the ball out as far as.
Well, I think he will. I think he definitely does. You're going to have is Royals playing this game, right? Royals is up there in the game, so they might want to utilize the younger guy to see what he can do. Not to mention maybe Noah Gray being a part of this, and I said I think it's going to be a little bit more tight end heavy. Some of the things that we do. But I would love to see Juju get more 30 plus receiving yards. I like the bet. I do. But it just scared me off. So to answer that question, this was when I was like.
Is that his actual line, Marcus?
No, I believe his actual line is like 20 something. His line's actually higher than Tyquan Thornton. Tyquan Thornton's only 14 yards this week.
I was going to say, I see Juju getting like a 3 for 27. Just like a couple of key first downs.
Yeah.
Still close to 30. I mean,
yeah, but it's not 30.
But it's not 30.
Does the I was curious, just because we only have one game of sample size to go off Liam Cohen's offense against us. The fact that K-Don was a big focal point for them again with Buccaneers last year against us, and I would say K-Don's between him, Brenton Strange has more dynamic tight end than Cade Otton. Do you think that that kind of goes to the game plan for him? Like, hey, look, last year when we played against them, tight end kind of ate them up. I want to see how Strange can go against them. Do coaches utilize that? Like, hey, using their film against them specifically?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, every game that we played in, we've seen the film that the tight end did well. We always think, hey man, we're going to be able to eat. We're going to be able to. So definitely. But also too, the defensive coaches know what we lacked in the last game. Like, hey, the tight ends got open, so we got to shut them down this game. So we just
I like your Strange bet. It wasn't available for me.
I believe his over under. I believe his over unders have 4.5 catches. So I took 4 just I thought it was safe.
I like that.
But Juju's line, by the way, is 28.5. So they have it a yard and a half under 30.
Yeah, there you go. I was close. Did you bought Kelsey's down to 30, right?
Yeah.
35, 36?
His is 43.5.
43.5.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised you bought down at 30.
I wanted it safe. I liked my my Kelsey 30 and Hollywood 30 last week, and I was like, you know what? Let's keep going with the 30 rack. Let's keep going with that. I was gonna do Hollywood again with 30, but I felt like with the conditions, I feel like Juju's more of a sure guy that Mahomes gonna want to go to. So that's kind of what with I went Juju this week.
Yeah.
Are you surprised Tyquan Thornton they have him at 13.5 this week? Are you surprised by that?
No, especially if field conditions are bad.
I don't know. I feel like one little cut, DB falls because he's fastest guy in the league, and then they're bomb to him.
Yeah, I mean,
so number one deep threat.
13.5 for the number one deep threat. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that chart I showed you. I mean, more than just our team's number one deep threat. He's top deep threat in the league, dude. What was that? He has the most yard separation per route run of any receiver in the league. Isn't that what that stat was?
Yeah, they leaving him open. They're like, shoot.
Man, yeah. Yeah, he ain't MVS. You can't leave him open. You can't leave him open expecting him to drop the ball. He ain't Sky Moore or MVS.
No, that's for sure. But then you see the dude that showed the one he had the year before. He's like, you can't make this up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, a lot of Patriots fans are really upset that Tyquan Thornton's tearing it up with us. They're really mad about it.
Yeah. Not only was a player that they wanted to do well, they invested a high pick in him.
Second round pick, man.
Yeah.
That's why we talk about, change of sceneries, how they can be a difference for people.
And you know what? We rode that. We expended a pretty high pick on a receiver that didn't pan out for us either. So
yeah. And I believe we were interested in Tyquan Thornton too. I think I read a report that we were interested in him, but he went like a couple of picks before Sky Moore went in that draft.
Yeah, I read that too. Yeah, we did like him in that draft. Of course we do. Speed.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? It is our type.
Yep.
Yeah. So the lines for the receivers this week, the actual lines, these are what we bought points on, or I bought yards on. So Kelsey 43.5, Xavier Worthy 58.5. Juju 28.5, Hollywood 35.5, Tyquan Thornton 13.5. As far as their weapons go, Brian Thomas 56.5 yards, Travis Hunter 27.5, Brent Strange 33.5 is where they have him projected 33.5.
Wait, that's interesting though, because Mahomes is like 243, isn't he?
His line is 245, yeah.
But you added up like way less than that with those yards.
They must, yeah. Like
they're missing something.
Yeah, like JD said, I mean, Noah Gray could be a big part of it. Okay, yeah, Gray 12.5 yards, Tyquan 13.5, and Isaiah Pacheco 6.5. They don't have Prashard Smith
25, 31. What was Kelsey?
43.5.
74. What was Worthy?
58.
82, 123. Juju? 28. 53, 161.
You get Hollywood 35.
181, 186, 216. All right, we're getting there. Missing about 30-something yards.
Yeah. I mean, Prashard Smith's not listed.
20 some yards.
Yeah, so there's a lot of guys that are not listed. Yeah. I mean, that's why JD brings up a good point. There's a lot of guys who are going to get targets. That's why it's tough to pinpoint who's going to be every week. So
yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us on this Friday evening. We hope you guys have an amazing weekend, a nice stress-free weekend, just watching football, sitting back, watching it, and we'll see you guys Monday night. It is nice. We'll see you guys Monday night right after the Chiefs and Jaguars game to enjoy and have a nice post-game show to celebrate the Monday night victory. So, guys, Jay, take us away, buddy.
Hey, man, shoot, enjoy some good football this weekend. Okay? There should be some good ones out there. We'll get to see who are the pretenders, right? And who's for real. So who does Philly have this week?
Oh, Philly's got Denver. They have Denver this week.
Ooh, okay.
I think Denver upsets them.
I think AJ Brown's going to be still upset in a few days. That's what I think.
for a different reason, though. Surtain's going to not let him breathe.
Yeah, he ain't forcing that ball to Surtain 8 times.
Nope.
No, sir.
Bet not. You bet not. You bet not.
Ain't doing that.
Yeah.
So no, it's good. Other than that, man, listen, everybody, appreciate y'all coming out tonight, seeing the keys to victory and the bet with Keys and Cash, Dunn and Dash, the Dash brothers, giving you what you need. So if you feel the confidence to put your money on it, bring you some money back, that's what they're here for. That's what they're going to do. So with that being said, man, appreciate you all coming out tonight. Like I said, I'm a little nasally, so I'm not going to go up and say everybody. I just want to let everybody know, look, y'all take care. God bless. Love each other the way you're supposed to. All right. Chiefs fans, Chief Concerns family. We love you guys. Teja, Marcus, love you, brothers. We will see you all on Monday after the game. Monday Night Football. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I hope you feel better, JD. Get some
it,
some allergy medication. I think it's what it is, because for me, I thought I was coming down with the cold last week, and I took allergy medication. Within 2 days, I still have a little bit of a nasally thing, but I'm not sneezing or running nose anymore. So
okay, good. Yeah, that's what Susan tried to tell me too. She said, "Here, take this." And this shoot. She's a nurse. I'm like, all right, I got you.
There you go.
So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm good. I'm okay. It's just so I think the ragweed here in Kentucky is like really.
It's high over here in Virginia, so it's probably the same in Kentucky then.
Yeah.
But Teja doesn't have that. Teja's got smog over there. Teja's got smog weed.
Nope, nothing for me. Nothing but traffic for me, boys.
But
you
all
just
right.
have some Robitussin.
Some Tussin. You can either some Tussin or what's that? Some Vicks. Let's get some Vicks. Rub it on your chest.
It'd be good.
Oh yeah. All right,
All right,
sounds
guys.
good. Okay.
Love you guys, and we'll see you guys Monday night. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Love y'all.
Take it
Take it
easy,
easy.
fellas.
See y'all.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.